Good. All right. Eric, can we get Jesus in here?
He wants 2 hours.
Oh, he wants 2 hours.
For the conference.
Oh, for the conference call. Okay, good. One for just a general, and the second one for just a private,
open-ended conversation.
Okay.
He can definitely pull Jesus in here.
Mm-hmm.
Love how casual he makes it sound. But also, there's a gentleman here. That's what I was going to ask you before. I know it's a man, but he looks like a woman.
I wonder who that is.
Older man, very feminine.
Really?
Very feminine gestures and the way he holds himself.
Like Truman Capote or something?
No. And then I kept getting crisps, like the potato chips.
Oh, so it's British probably.
And so I got online, I typed in crisp, but all I get is the potato chips.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't type in like crisp man.
Oh, Crispin Glover. Well, he's alive though. Well, ask him. Is there something you want to say, Mr.?
He's gone. He's long gone.
Oh, okay. Well, Eric, who do you want to bring in then?
Who's Quentin Crisp?
Quentin Crisp. Yeah, there's somebody.
That sounds
God, I don't. He's on my list, I think, but I can't remember who he is.
Is an author.
Okay, maybe.
This is you?
Huh?
This is him. This is him.
Okay.
Is he on our list?
I don't know.
Well, if he's
sounds
not,
familiar.
I guess he wants to be. I love, he's so blasé and casual and British. He's talking.
Oh, okay.
He has an accent.
Well, can we do him later? Quentin, do you mind if we do you later? Because I don't see you on the list.
He said, honey,
you probably
can do
are.
him anytime you want.
Oh, oh, touche. I like it. That's going to be a fun interview, I know.
He says, my dear, I'm going to have a seat, and I'm going to listen to what Jesus says.
Okay. I'm going to put you down here on the list. You're probably here, but I need to do a search, and I need to get into that document to do that.
Okay.
All right.
There's so many. We know who he is.
Yes, we did. Okay.
My dear, you can do me anytime you want.
That is so cute.
Yeah, go. You keep me company. Nobody else is with Eric today. It's just Eric and Mr. Crisp. He has this a big brimmed hat on, kind of tilted to the side.
Wow.
Kind of
what did he write?
A scarf. He has like a women's silk scarf tied tight around the neck.
High the fashion. He's a clothes horse.
Clothes whore. He prefers to be called.
What did you write, Quentin? What was your favorite thing that you wrote? I guess you were a writer.
Civil servant. Civil.
Okay. Civil disobedience. A civil servant.
He says, oh, God, no. Nothing about obedience.
No, disobedience. Civil disobedience. He's here? Mm-hmm. Hello, Mr. Jesus.
What do you say?
Well, what's your last name? Christ? Mr. Christ? No, I'm teasing. I really don't know your last name, Jesus. Maybe you, like Cher, you only had a one-name thing going on.
He thinks that's funny.
Oh, my God. This is awesome. Do you know why we're here, I suppose, right?
Please.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to ask, what was your spiritual mission on the life that we know? If you could succinctly, or not so succinctly, let us know. What were you here to do?
It's like my eyes are playing tricks on me. Eric is sitting on the armrest of my couch, diagonally in front of me. Mr. Chris is sitting on the couch, legs crossed. Jesus is standing off in front of the couch, kind of diagonally in front of me. When he came in, he was dressed in white. It looked, I don't know, like a robe or a wrap or something. It was free-form, white. It kind of emits its own light, so it doesn't really look like a crisp piece of clothing. And then when I heard Eric speaking to Jesus, kind of saying, you know, show them what a cool guy you are, is what he was saying. And I look over and so you see Jesus in jeans. And sandals and a t-shirt. And it's a scoop neck t-shirt. It's white. It's long sleeves, kind of like a linen. And linen. There's no markings on it or anything. It hangs. It's not tucked in. You know, and so.
Wow, so it's casual. It's not even casual Friday, but we'll allow it this time, Jesus.
We'll allow it this time.
Okay, so your spiritual mission?
He said was to try and simply show the people on earth the importance of the afterlife.
Oh, and from what I understand, you are a little bit, well, a lot different from us because you came in without that spiritual amnesia that we all get. You came remembering who and what you were, what you are.
He said yes.
Did you realize that even as a child?
He says at age 3, he recognized that he was different than others.
In what way?
I knew that we were all connected together, that we were not alone. He said I couldn't understand why people would cry or have grief or feel separated.
Oh.
I couldn't understand when he was alive as a young boy, he couldn't understand why people wouldn't take care of themselves. That they would choose to become weak or a victim. And he said it pulled on the fabric of the energy all around us and weighed people down. And he said, I knew that's not who I was. And he said, I had access to all the voices that came before me. Eric asked him to describe that more. He says spirits, angels, God.
And you could tap into any information you wanted, just like Eric can now?
Yes, it was free form.
Okay. Was there any very impactful event that happened in your childhood that made you the man you were?
He smiles. He has facial hair, though. It's not bushy.
Okay.
And I don't see it as being a long beard or anything. It's just kind of trimmed, kind of modern looking.
Okay.
But he said all of what he did as a child made him the man he is today. But the most impactful was the suffering that his mother experienced that he knew was unjust.
Oh, what kind of suffering?
Took it as a message to not let people suffer anymore. And he said, I understood that I was a healer. I understood that I could create cure by using God. And Eric said, I'm giving him a thumbs up. Eric says, if you were alive today, would you still feel comfortable using the term God?
Ooh, very nice.
I know.
He's not without skills.
Jesus said, he's kind of talking directly to Eric, so I'm just kind of listening in. But he said that, yes, he would feel comfortable using the term God. What he's uncomfortable with is the definition that's been attached to the word. It's been fragmented.
So God is deemed by man as a separate entity from each of us.
Yes.
Okay. Does he have dark skin or light skin?
I said it in my head, and Eric goes, "Say it out loud."
Oh,
He looks like a very, very tanned Caucasian.
okay.
So not white skin.
Does he have
Definitely tanner than me.
fine features or coarser features?
No, more fine features.
Okay.
Smooth skin, it's not rough. It doesn't look like it's been in the sun forever.
Okay. What about your birth? Was it an immaculate conception?
He smiles and tilts his head. He said no.
Okay. All right. The secret's out, Mary.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Now, let me see. So reflecting on your life, do you think you accomplished your mission?
Yes. And Eric started laughing. Eric's comment was, well, I think he did a pretty good job because people are still talking about him thousands of years
Well, that's
later.
true. That's true. Well, how do you feel about the way they revere you and the way they spread your words, so to speak? Are they doing what needs to be done, or have things become distorted in a way that you're not happy with?
He sits down in front of me. It's on a side table, but it doesn't seem to matter to him. He's very comfortable. He says, a lot of my children have gotten lost. A lot of my children have taken my word too literally and too directly, and have decided to create a cause or war in defense of my words. If I were able to walk the earth today, I would tell my children to argue or to defend or to force others to believe in the words that you cherish so deeply for yourself is the wrong way to encourage life.
Okay, fighting against things resisting it just is a part of the ego anyway.
Eric jumped in and said, well, there is no right and wrong.
Yeah.
Jesus nodded his head. He said, correct, Eric, but for those who live on earth, who are causing the disruption, wholeheartedly believe there is a right and a wrong. So to teach them first what is right and wrong, you must teach them first what is right and wrong before you can teach them of the concepts that there is no right or wrong.
Okay, well put. Now, what were you here to learn? Were you here to learn anything, Jesus?
He's like leaning in with his elbows down. His hands are folded. They're not clasped. They're folded. He says, my heart's racing.
I bet so.
Okay. He said that I told him maybe he should scoot back a little bit. The closer he gets to me, the more I feel like I have to cry.
Oh. Well, I'm not even in the same room, and my heart is racing.
Thank you. He scoots back.
Such energy.
Yeah. It's real subtle, but as soon as you get closer to it, you just feel, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
You just can't contain or control.
Yeah.
Okay, further back maybe.
Oh, poor Jamie.
It's awesome. Are you kidding? It's so amazing. Okay, let's start over. Eric's like, Jamie, it's okay, snap out of it. And I go, dude, it's human body, man. Human body reaction.
I know, it sucks sometimes. So were you here to learn anything?
He said he was here to learn how to freely give of himself 100%, but still maintain a sense of individuality and purpose. It wasn't to surrender all to his children, he calls them children, and Eric says, what's that? He said, followers, believers.
Yeah. Okay. And we understand what he's here to teach. But I guess I'd like it to be restated. What was he here to teach?
He said he was here to teach that there was many pathways to God. He said he repeated to others that he was not the only way. Though he said that it was rewoven by other people to state that he is the only way. He said he would not take the time to feed his ego that way, that it was worthless effort.
Yeah.
He just wanted many ways to reach God.
Okay.
He said he was also here to teach that the many ways that you find always starts with self, to go in to find God, to go in and outward. It was not to place the responsibility of belief and spiritual security with another person. It was only to be done within the temple. And the body is the temple.
Yeah.
The church is not the temple.
I see. Yeah. Do you have any regrets? I feel weird asking you that, but you were human at the time.
He regrets that he did not have the opportunity to speak out past his death, what was considered to be his death.
Yeah.
He says that he did not die. You know, I've heard this before, but to hear you talk about it is a little tough. That he did not die on the cross, that he was not kept in his stone tomb, that he had a life beyond that.
How did that happen?
His regret was that he didn't have the opportunity, the means to tell that story, because he knew as the story stood, it was more powerful to give people a hope and what God could provide and what the afterlife could provide.
Okay.
He says it's the same study, the same way of the Tibetan monks, where they can stay in meditation for days, weeks, without food. They appear unconscious. Their heart almost lays dormant. It is a way of control over the temple, over the body. It was what he had practiced in. He said he traveled to several countries before he was announced to be the Son of God, and studied in many different cultures and beliefs. He said, I did this because I knew there were many ways to achieve the one path, but it would have been wise enough for me to know intimately what they were. I had all the power, though I lacked the knowledge as a human. And so he gathered the knowledge and he was able to learn. And he said that his followers, even the
disciples,
even the ones with even the guards.
Okay, right. The Roman guards, right? Spears,
were able to come to his rescue and move him away so that he could come out of this state of being and live his life.
Where did he live? Where did you live your life, Jesus?
He's showing me 3 different countries. I can see France,
That's what I think I've heard before. Did you get married? Did you have children?
Yes.
Okay. How many children did you have?
He lived his life under another title, under another name, and kept a very secret way of teaching.
Okay. Did you marry Mary?
That's what, yeah, Eric Magdalene.
Yeah,
Eric
Mary Magdalene.
Did you marry Mary Magdalene? And he says that was his only true love. Oh. She was his only true love. Yeah. And he's saying that he knew how important it was for women to be considered equals to men. Mm-hmm. So among his disciples, so what you learn today is all men, but it was not.
Say that last sentence again, because you broke up.
Though you may have learned in the Bible that all the disciples were men.
Oh, they were not.
They were not.
Was Mary one of the disciples?
He said yes.
Okay, good. Did you have, how many children did you have? 5 children.
He's saying 5 and that 2 died young.
Oh. Okay. Anything else? Okay.
No, that internal dialogue that we had just now was that I really tore out my finger, tore out the joint.
Oh, yeah?
And busted the tip.
Oh.
Eric goes, why don't you heal Jamie's finger and show her?
Oh.
And he turns and looks at me and he says, that's a lesson she needs to learn.
Oh. Oh.
Touché.
Don't be putting your fingers where they don't belong, I guess.
Seriously. Door frames is where that went.
Oh, boy. Can you share a past life, or even have you even had any past lives, or previous or other lives, shall I say, that maybe influenced the one we know as Jesus?
He's had past and future lives.
Okay. Which one would you like to share?
He says not all of them were as clear as the life he was able to have. I don't understand. Eric, my translator, describes.
Oh, he's part of the UN. He'll get a job at the UN now.
He says that Jesus was trying to state that though he had many different lives, it wasn't just the one where he was this amazing saint and son of God, that all the other lives he's experienced have somewhat had that characteristic about him. Mm-hmm. He was always been the spiritual person, the healer, the person who encourages energy work, afterlife thought, and beyond. So I asked, can you please look at one you want to share? Um, 1962, he came in as a very sick baby boy. This actually happens to be in the United States. He lived his life in the hospital. He was never able to come home. He had a wired frame on him, a metal frame, as if he says his muscles wouldn't grow, it wouldn't hold weight. So they created a frame for him to be able to move about. Said he lived until the age of 4.
And he lived 4 years in the hospital?
Yes.
Oh, what was the reason for those sort of hardships? And how did that impact your life as Jesus? since obviously the present can affect the past and such.
He said, as the little boy, he was very happy. He knew no other life, to be able to run or play. It's like his skin would tear and his bones would break.
Oh, osteogenesis imperfecta, maybe? Like soft bones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he was cornered and kept away.
Okay.
But he came to impact the doctors, the nurses, and the family that he came into. And in turn, those people. He finds the life the life of the child that struggles the most impacts the community to make a change. He takes time to reincarnate as some of these beings to impact and give peace to the people about what death is, about what life is meant to do.
Okay. Are you currently on the earth in some form?
He said yes.
Really? Where are you?
He said he's in India.
In India, okay.
He's a woman.
Oh. A spiritual teacher or healer?
Yes.
What's her first name? I don't want to give last names because you never know what will happen with that.
M-O-N-A is all I can see.
Okay.
Ona.
All right.
It seems to be a shortened version of something more intricate.
A longer name? Okay. All right. What do you do while you're in the afterlife? What's your life's work there?
Giving peace to those who arrive.
Okay. Oh, good, good. I hope when I cross over, I'll meet you and we'll give each other a big hug. What do you think about the state of humanity now, Jesus?
He says it is what it is supposed to be. When you remove yourself from the human life, you're able to see the possibilities. The possibilities that we see are not yet exposed to the masses on earth. I know that there is an opportunity for great exponential growth. Eric is asking to please share about when that would be, how that would impact the people that are still living. And Jesus responds that inventions and he's talking about when inventions and spirituality come together.
So science and spirituality will be bridged in some way. That's good. When will that be? Another 20 years? Another 5 years?
It will start reaching. Yeah. Everyone's having conversation right now. It will leak out. It will start to leak out in about 4 more years about what's already been done.
Okay.
And then from there, it will take about 10 years for everything that's already been done to really come to light and really be explained.
Okay.
Because it's going to turn how you learn, who you are, what the school systems do, what businesses are based on, what belief is based on, It has to affect everything. It will affect everything.
Oh gosh, yeah. Absolutely. Is the Bible true? Was it really basically a spiritual document?
Back in the day that it was written, it was considered very enlightening. But as it has grown, people have outgrown it. The morals are still true, but the stories they weave around it are being taken for literal, when in truth they are written by a human, which would then consider it to be a personal perspective or personal opinion of the situation that has occurred.
So it gets distorted. And Eckhart Tolle talks about some of the things that you said, Jesus, and how they're misinterpreted. Is he on the right path?
He said yes.
Okay.
Wow. Does he do that in a book?
Yeah, he does that on A New Earth. It's really great. What would you like to tell us? Any messages for us, including, just started with any messages for humanity.
The work must come from within, not out.
Yeah.
The work must be internal so that you may then begin to create a community.
Would you say that the most important thing is to recognize, and by recognizing, destroy the ego? Okay. Does the ego have a purpose, a positive purpose?
Yes.
And what is that? To create that separation illusion, to create duality, none of the above?
The way he shows it in my head is to be the foundation of the house.
Okay.
And it has its own place. It should not be on every floor. It shouldn't be in every board that built the house. It shouldn't be in the artwork and the furniture.
So you have to have that space for awareness, that inner space that is devoid of ego. Okay, I got you. What would you like to tell us that we don't know or that we have totally misunderstood about you?
Oh, that created laughter.
Oh, okay. I made Jesus laugh.
And Mr. Crisp thinks that Jesus is a very good-looking man.
Oh, how cute. One of the physical misconceptions, he has brown eyes, not blue. Okay.
He says another misconception is that he was specific in who he would speak to, that he was very private. He said this is very untrue. It was actually the disciplines around him that felt they needed to protect Jesus.
The disciples?
And keep him from the disciples.
Okay.
To protect Jesus. Sorry. He said it was why he would talk to the Sermon on the Mount.
Okay. Talk
so freely for so many people. It's why he chose to walk from city to city so that he could reach others. That he did not judge if you believed in his words or not. He said, I love you just the same.
Okay.
Third misconception, he does not condemn people. He does not stop people from reaching God.
Wow. So it's not like if you don't believe in Jesus, then you go to hell, you get condemned. There's not the big rapture where everybody dies except for those who have been baptized and believe in you?
Correct.
Okay. Well, of course, that does not make sense. Is that all created as a power play by man? Or is it just an honest misunderstanding?
Power play by man.
Yeah. Okay. What about one more question. What about the Shroud of Turin? Is that your shroud?
Oh, you're talking about the face on the...
Yes.
Eric asked that earlier.
Oh, really?
And, but he never responded, so we kept talking and left it be. When he talked about the tomb...
Oh, yes.
Eric asked it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is.
Okay.
It
is him or is not?
It is him.
It is him. Okay. All right. Good. Well, Jesus, thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to say?
He said he gives you his thanks, especially in the desire to seek honesty and not driven by curiosity, belief, or money.
Oh, of course not. Okay. Well, I love you. I really do.
He said, I love you too.
Oh, bye.
He waves.
Oh, wow.
And turned and walked out kind of through the wall and the bookcase and everything.
Ooh, are you okay, Jamie?
Yeah, I was much better when he had to get on the other side of the room from me.
Wow.
The closer he got, the more I couldn't.
Was it a good feeling? Like an overwhelming, was it an overwhelming joy? Or is that
I'll
it?
freak out.
Yeah.
Turn Skype off.
Oh, yeah, probably so. Well, it's kind of late, but we can ask